my channel. If you're new here, kindly subscribe. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for always coming through for your baby girl. If you haven't turned on your notification button, do turn it on so that anytime I post a video, you'll be the first to be notified. So today's show was very, very awkward. It was centered mostly on Kim Oprah and Tacha, and of course Fraud and Esther. So I'm going to start with Kim Oprah and Tacha. So Ebuka started by asking Kim Oprah, if she had anything unsaid between she and Tacha, because after the first 2 episodes, they had a bit of a squabble, and especially on internet and things like that. So he felt like there was something not said that needed to be said. So Kim Oprah started off by saying that, yeah, of course, Ebuka asked a general question and she felt she answered it the best way she could. And after answering it, Tacha wanted to address only Kim Oprah, but not address generally what she felt about it. And she felt like Tacha was coming at her at that point in time, which she didn't get. But putting that aside, she said that for lack of a better word, Tacha tried to bully and intimidate her after they had led the set off the should I call it interview, or off the reunion set. After they had left the place to their hotel room, Tacha tried to bully or intimidate her, for a lack of a better word. And at that point in time, she actually felt very, very, very unsafe. She went on to say that they were staying in the same hotel and felt like, of course, Tacha knew her room. So she was wondering if Tacha was going to come beat her up or whatever, because she wasn't feeling good at all. And she said she didn't know what prompted Tacha, to go off at her. And also, whilst Tacha was going off at her, Tacha was recording her. She kept telling Tacha to stop recording her. She said she personally did not know why Tacha was recording her or what she was going to use the, clips for. But, she's here at the moment, which is Kim. And if she's done anything to Tacha, whatever it is, she feels like, why not speak to the issue and let's resolve it. So Ebuka asked Tacha if she has something to say, and Tacha started off by saying that she felt like she has overemphasized about her confidence being an issue, because she felt like if it was a man who had her kind of confidence, she wouldn't be bashed as much as Tacha was bashed. And she went on to say that she personally did not want to talk about that because she felt like it was not necessary. So Kim said she didn't understand. And Ebuka said no, she hasn't addressed what Kim was talking about with regards to the recording, blah, blah, blah. And Tacha said she did not know what Kim was talking about. And Kim had a very surprised look on her face, like, nah, fam. So Tacha still tries to explain, and Ebuka tells her to relax and said that nobody's trying to call her ignorant or anything, and they're not saying that she's not confident, but they're just trying to find out, did she record Kim? And she said no, she didn't do that. And Ebuka now asked Kim, and Kim said yes, Tacha did record her. So Ebuka went on to ask that were there witnesses, were there people there as at the time this thing was going on. And Kim said yes, Esther and Omashola were present. So Ebuka now asked Esther to tell us what transpired. So Esther gave a narration of what's happened and said that she was in the car with Kim and Omashola, and they got to the hotel, and then right after they got to the hotel, I think Tacha came over. And she cannot say for sure if Tacha was recording, but it looked like she could see a flashlight behind Tacha's phone showing, but she does not know if Tacha was recording. And there was a bit of a banter between the two, and Tacha said fuck you. I don't know, I think Kim Oprah said fuck you or something like that. I'm not too sure, not to give bad information, but yeah. And she said they had a bit of a clash. She kept telling them to stop, but it was so loud that something like that happened. And Omashola was there, so definitely Omashola saw that it happened. So it's a bit baffling to say that Tacha said she didn't remember. So then Ebuka now asked Omashola to also narrate what he saw. Sorry, before I say what Omashola says. So apparently Esther narrates that Tacha had said that Kim, see what my confidence got me. You can't, you can't get what I have, her Benz and all of that. And Esther said she said that Tacha couldn't say that. So I think Kim was going in and coming back, you know how, arguments go back and forth when, you're heated up and all of that. So Esther ended by saying that she was a bit confused as to why that commotion was happening, but she really couldn't place, her fingers to what exactly the issue was. But she said for a fact that she does not believe Tacha would say that she didn't remember. And then Omashola went on to explain, and in his explanation, he said he was getting down with Kim because Kim was sitting in the middle of the car, and Tacha, drove past them as they had parked, and then shouted, "Fuck you, Kim," and then Kim also responded, "Fuck you." And they had a bit of an argument back and forth. And Tacha was recording and saying that, "What has your confidence got you? See, my confidence got me in my car, blah, blah, blah." And Omashola told Tacha that, "What are you saying? That's Kim's car parked in the car park. At the car park." And there was still a bit of an argument back and forth. Tacha said she did not remember this ever happening. So Mashallah went on to say that Tacha had accused Kim of hopping from one bus to another, because she had joined, her friends in their cars to withdraw. So where's her car, blah, blah, blah. And Mashallah also said that he would not really understand if Tacha said she didn't remember, because he even remembers telling Tacha that was Kim's car. And Tacha said she does not remember what Mashallah was saying. So, Kim now went on to say that Tacha should just own up to her stuff and then they should move on. And she says she does not remember. So Ebuka asked her, is she saying that the housemates, that is Omashola and Esther, are lying, or she does not remember? So Ebuka now asked Tacha that it was quite confusing that, days before she had said that she remembered things that happened in the house to details, but could not remember something that happened 2 days or a day ago. And for him, he found that baffling. So as he was talking, Tacha said, well, those three were three friends. And then Kim said, no, Esther was not her friend. Esther was rather Tacha's friend. So nope, it was not three friends who had come together to speak about her. It was three people, who were being objective as to what exactly happened, because Kim was not friends with Esther. Oh my God. So Amashola told Tacha that, Tacha, I'm your friend. If something is wrong, I'll let you know. If something is right, I'll let you know. You're my Chihuahua friend. And yeah, so Ebuka now asked Tacha what happened when she got to the hotel room, and Tacha said, when she got to the hotel, she just went to her room. That's what everybody would do when they get to their hotel room. So Ebuka went on to ask her, were you there? She said no, she wasn't there. Why would she record Kim Opera if she wasn't there? So she said she wasn't there. So then Ebuka tries to find reasoning to everything, and said that, okay, so if, let's say, something breaks and then she's been accused of breaking a thing and she knows she didn't do it, she'll definitely say a yes or a no. And she said yes, definitely, if she didn't do it. So then Ebuka now asked her that, okay, since you have gotten what I'm trying to say, so I'm coming back to the same issue, did you record Kim Opera? Were you present when this intimidation or bullying was going on? So long and short of it, Ebuka asked Tacha for the last time, did this happen? She said nope, she doesn't remember this happening. It didn't happen. She wasn't there. Nothing like this happened. So honestly, Kim was short of words and was just saying, wow, like she was just, giggling, but she was baffled, definitely. So Ebuka now asked Mercy if she had seen this or in any way heard about it. So Ebuka now turns to Mercy to ask for her 2 cents. And she said, honestly, she's trying to tell herself to calm down because she's confused, but because this doesn't concern her in any way, so she's trying very hard to calm down. But she feels like at this point in time, they are supposed to own up to their own shit. And it's, whatever you said in the past, whatever action you've done in the past, she feels like this is the time to, take it all back, apologize if you have to, and move on. So she's finding it a bit difficult to see or sit through what was happening at that point in time. So Mercy said that, Kim came to her room raging mad and was, you could tell that she was very, very upset to talk about what had just happened. And Ebuka, wanted to confirm if Mercy was at the scene. And she said no, she didn't see what had happened. She had only heard. And she went on to say that, yes, she had also talked to Esther. And in fact, Esther had actually followed suit right behind, Kim Opera when she entered Mercy's room. And had even said to her that, oh, Tacha is her friend who is Esther, but she does not support what Tacha just did at the parking lot. Wow. So Mercy said, after hearing, Esther and Kim coming to her room that day and seeing how Tempest had played and all of that, she's kind of shocked to hear Tacha or sit through Tacha saying that she doesn't remember what happened. It's a bit confusing. And then Ebuka went on to tell Tacha that, yeah, it's also a bit confusing for him too, because, you know, she seems to be someone who remembers, and she always says that she remembers things even from, you know, from a year or 8 months ago and things like that. So it's a bit difficult to understand why she cannot remember this particular incident. So at this point in time, the housemates were trying to beg her to own up to, you know, whatever it is, move on from it. Mercy said they were growing, they should just move on from it. The only way they can move on from something like this is to just own up to it. Omashola kept saying that they had an obligation for each of them had an obligation as they were sitting there, because they had all done stuff out of pride, out of ego and all of that, and they just had to own it and then move on from it. So he feels like he should just, you know, let loose, own up to whatever it is that happened that day, so that they can apologize or sort it out and just move on. But Tacha said, no, nah, fam, I didn't do it, I wasn't there. Honestly, it was super awkward. So Mercy went on to say that she had personally seen the video, and personally she felt like she didn't want to be a part of it. She apologized to Kim for not, you know, owning up to Kim, to letting Kim know she had seen the video. But in the industry that they are in, you need to know someone's best friend to know someone's best friend to know someone's best friend. So she had seen, you know, the video where Tacha has said that the car video, whatever it is, but she saw she never, you know, made Kim see it or brought it up to Kim. But she feels like Tacha should just own up to it so that they move on. Tacha said she doesn't know what they're talking about. Omashola tried. Tacha said, nah, I don't know what you guys are talking about. So then Kim said she wanted to say something so that they can move from that particular topic. It was about time, honestly. So in conclusion, Kim said that, you know, the day before she had watched Tacha apologize, you know, for everything she did in the house, blah, 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 and that she wants to be a different person, a better person. Yeah, maybe Tacha wants to be a different or a better person. She gets it, and she knows that Tacha spoke about her story, blah, blah, blah. She gets it as well. But honestly, she feels like you don't do stuff and not own up to it. So yeah, Tacha kept denying, and Kim Opera said that Tacha could claim to have amnesia or whatever it is, which was fine with her. Kim Opera was who she was. Tacha was who she is. Tacha does not know her Kim from anywhere. She also does not know Tacha from anywhere. She should not do this kind of thing ever again, not to her, not to any other person. And also, she shouldn't use Titans to come after her or any other person again, because nobody deserves that kind of treatment. She went on to say that next time if Tacha had an issue with her, she should speak up to her. Like the confident woman that Tacha is, walk up to her, Kim, talk to her about her issue so that they can sort it out together. But she should not hide behind the phone or a camera to speak up. So as Kim Opera was rounding up, Tacha started clapping and saying, oh wow, amazing speech. And Kim Opera said thank you, and Kim Opera advised Tacha to seek help from, you know, a professional, and I'm thinking a therapist, of course. So there were sounds here and there about, oh no, Kim, you didn't just say that, blah blah blah. And the message chipped in that she felt like that session was for growth, was for moving on and things like that. So she felt that they could just, you know, own up to your stuff and just settle it there. So Kim still held on to her truth and said, well, she still thinks Tacha needs help because Tacha remembers everything. And then all of a sudden, because this was behind closed doors, she's, you know, forming amnesia. So she does think that, you know, Tacha really needs help. And Tacha said that, well, Kim should just get a proof. After she gets that proof, then they can talk. So yeah, they were still, you know, going a bit of a back and forth with each other. And Tacha kept saying, get a proof and let's talk, get a proof and let's talk. And Kim said she didn't need the phone or proof for anything, because at the end of the day, she knows the kind of person Tacha is, so that's fine with her. And she wanted them to move on. And Tacha said that, well, the kind of person Tacha is the kind of person that loved or loves Kim Opera genuinely. And Kim Opera went on to say that she does not need Tacha's love because Tacha's love is flawed. And that if she does this kind of thing to people she loves, then nope, she doesn't want Tacha's love. So that was that between Tacha and Kim Oprah. So we now moved on to Fraud and Esther. And Esther said personally she didn't like, what Fraud said the other day about she having, friends in higher echelon. I hope I pronounced it well, and all of that, and pulling up in a Porsche and all of that. And she felt like that was a dent to her brand, and that it got people, seeing her in a different light. You know how it is, like when, girls have this kind of tag on them, and she didn't really like it and wanted it to be cleared. She said a lot of other things, and then after speaking, it looked like she was teary. She really wanted to cry or something like that, I don't know. So it now moved on to Fraud, and Fraud said that personally he was shocked at what Esther was saying, and Esther was trying to make it about her. And he said that Esther was always about her brand, and it was always about her and not another person, and that he felt like it was a simple question that Ebuka had asked if they were an item, and Ford felt like if it was that simple, you could easily say that we are not an item, we separated because we were too busy for each other or something like that. But to now come and say that he didn't ask her out in the proper way and things like that, he felt like he did everything humanly possible to please Esther, even outside the house. So to hear her say that was quite hurtful. And she said a lot of things about him being petty and all of that, and he gave an example of what she meant by he was petty, because that was something that had come up. So he doesn't know why she should now come and form whatever she's saying there. So Ford actually said that I said I didn't want to do again, but on my birthday Esther sent a very romantic message and everything was sweet again. And he said after she sent the sweet message, they kind of like got together again, did a couple of travels, they even spent Val's Day together. But even on the trip, Esther made it look like to the world she was on a trip separate from Fraud, which could, of course, it would hurt. And they had a bit of a back and forth, and Fraud kept saying that he wasn't a fool, and everybody felt like even in the house he was woman rapper, blah blah blah, and all. We saw it, come on, we saw and things like he was bashed a lot. And he said that a lot of people felt that when he came out of the house he was personally not going to make any money, he was just going to be following a woman up and down. But he knows he's proved a lot of people wrong. But it's it's sad to say that this is a lady that he's always been in her corner, covered her and things like that, and that even his friends ask about Esther, what's going on, are they an item, blah blah blah, and she never owns up that they are dating, they have feelings for each other. And it's always him trying to defend them or make it look like things are working out. So it was a bit tough for him, and he said his truth and tried to explain about the upper echelon stuff, and said that he didn't mean sexually, but he felt like Esther had people who could do stuff for her. And yes, so if you have people that can do stuff for you, don't need other people now. But he didn't mean anything sexual, so he took that statement back. And personally, he didn't really agree with a lot of what Esther was saying, because it looked like Esther was just trying to cover up what he said, and he kind of like still didn't get it. And he said he was a fresh guy, Esther is a fresh girl, so it wouldn't be out of this world if they said it wasn't working out, we've moved on, we are not dating. But all the same, it happened, and he finally apologized for whatever he said and took back his words, and there was a clap. So Ebuka went on to ask what Esther would call Fraud now, and Esther said, I don't know, and that they've not really spoken for a while. But Ebuka was like, this response means there's still hope for Froster, there just might be another 36th floor experience. But honestly, from the look of things, I don't think Fraud and Esther are a ship that are going to be together again. It looks like the ship has capsized. Oh my god. So now Diallo and Foster have capsized. What a shame. So this is what you missed on today's episode of the Big Brother Naija reunion this is the episode again, reunion show. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you liked my narration, and I hope I did a good job to make you understand what we watched today. Today was kind of awkward, it was intense, it was, oh my god, it was something else sharp, but all the same, I hope all the housemates the best, and I pray that each and every one of them move on away from this show. It's getting too toxic, and they all need to see a therapist. They need to be sane, because this can be too much. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like, share, and of course subscribe. Turn on your notification button so that anytime I post a video, you'll be the first to be notified. Good night. So today's show was very, very awkward. It was centered mostly